in this video we'll learn about the view tab, and it packs some great functionality to analyze your data which is residing in your table. For the starter, you see there is a formula bar which is showing me the M code. If I go into step promoted header step, it is showing me the M code, that what M code the power query applied to transform my data. So if I don't want to see that M code or this formula bar, I just go here and I just click on this uncheck. So yeah, my formula bar is now gone. When I click on OK, now I can see my formula bar. In the next step, the data preview, there are some functionality in monospace. Is basically use the monospace font to convert all of your data into monospaced font. I'll just uncheck it and keep it in the font it already have. Then there's some column quality. When I click over it, you see there is some data showing here, that green dot with a valid and 100%, then a red dot with an error, 0%, empty. So basically this view is showing me the quality of my column, and if I go to order ID, this same field is showing the quality of my order ID column. So in my row ID column, 100% valid mean all of the data in my order ID row ID column is coherent with the data type 123. It is valid and there is no empty space, no blank cell, and there is no error in it. Similarly, I can check all of my data here and get to know like what's happening in my data. If I see that there is an error percentage and empty percentage, then I can also dig onto it and clean my data. If I click on column distribution, it's basically give me some bar chart which will show me how my data is basically distributed. So you see row ID is a sequential number of rows, and every number is a distinct number. So and column profiling, whenever we load data into Power BI, it profile our data onto the top 1000 rows. So this data is basically only fetching top 1000 rows of my data. So it says that all of your data in your row ID is a distinct number and it is unique number, because because it is not repeating, and therefore it is showing me the distribution of my column. Similarly, in order ID there is 479 distinct value and 226 is the unique value. So basically 479 is representing there are 479 values which have some duplicate in it, but it is counting the duplicate as a 1. So and 226 unique mean that 226 values don't have any duplicate in your column, so it is the unique value. Similarly, we can see the other distribution, like in ship mode there is a distribution of 4 distinct value and there is no unique value because every value is repeating or having a duplicate. Now if I click on column profile and select any column, like I go into order ID, it's a text field and it is giving me the column statistics, like I have 1000 items in my this order ID column, and there is no error, there is no empty, 479 are distinct value and 226 are unique value. There is no empty string, mean there is no empty field, no blank, and it is giving me the value distribution, like this number 2017 is coming 9 times. It basically this field is repeating 9 times. When I get into it, this field is repeating 7 times. And if I go into row ID, row ID basically number field. I want to show this because when I click on any column which have a data type number, whole number, decimal number, so there are also show some aggregation, like there is the average, there is some standard deviation, even and odds, like 500 values are even and 500 values are odd. So that's how you can look into your data, what's need to be fixed in your data, and how your data is structured and it is distributed. If I click on go to column, it's the same functionality that we saw previously. If I click on any column, like I click on subcategory, it will navigate me to subcategory. And this advanced editor, what advanced editor do? Basically, advanced editor store all your M code which you have applied on your data. Like there are two functions, first is let and the other is in. So to understand it better, this advanced editor always put all your M code, your changes, your transformation in the last step that you perform. So you see the last step that you perform was change type, so it put all the changes in change type. If I click on done and perform another step, like I go here and I click on the duplicate column, just duplicate column, the last step has been applied, duplicate column. So it basically entered my last step in the duplicate column. It applied all the M code in this space and dump all the resultant data in the duplicate column step. So basically what let is doing, let is in the beginning getting some data from source, which is D, Power BI, course, Udemy, Superstore data. If you ever change the place of your Power BI file, I mean if you just copy it and move that file into a C folder, so it will give an error. So you have to come here, or you have to and change the path here and click and done, then it will all be okay, the data will be there. Then the step applied, it promoted the headers, and then it changed some types. Then the duplicate column that I just applied in the category, I applied category and it just entered all my M code in the latest step. So if I want to change anything here, I can just, I wanted to row ID is a basically a type text. I just either write type and then text and just click on done. So you see my step row ID has been assigned as a text data type. So you can also change your query in the advanced editor. It's basically showing every step, everything you have performed in Power Query. It can be tracked here, and that's pretty much about View tab. And then there's Help tab. If you need any help, like around community, any Power BI blog, you can come here, and you can also download some samples data to get to know about how Power BI is working. So this is pretty much how we learn about Power Query, the different tabs that help us to perform different functions, and it's a pretty powerful tool available in Power BI. So Power Query basically launched in in Excel back then, and you can also use Power Query functionality in Excel. So it's, you can say it's you have learned also something, a very much advanced thing around Excel, and you can also call it, it's where the magic happens. If you want to transform your data, you want to clean your data, you want to add something, some function, so you can use it repeatedly on different tables, so you can create it here. And once you are done with every transformation and cleaning activity, you just go back here and click on close and apply.